What is happening, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. On this segment, I'd like to discuss whether or not Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Kevin Holland is the greatest UFC fight of all time. Because I'm reading that in the comments, and I think it's more of like a recency bias thing. I'm going to say no way, not even close. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Kevin Holland had potential to be one of the greatest fights of all time, especially early on in the match. It was shaping up to be that way, but Kevin Holland wound up hurting his hand early in the fight, and basically he turned into a punching bag. I don't mean that disrespectfully, I'm just calling it like it is. I mean, he was standing there, he was just a target. Wonderboy was teeing off on him for a good majority of that fight. Kevin Holland just in survival mode, not able to attack properly. Now, in terms of resilience and toughness, you can put that on Kevin Holland's back. It was one of the greatest displays of that. As far as like striking prowess and skill, poetry in motion, you can put that on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's back. Two of the greatest performances in those respects. But when I think of greatest fight of all time, or fights that are up there, I think of like competitive back and forths. I think of wars, like Henderson versus Shogun 1. Forrest Griffin versus Stephan Bonnar 1. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. Oliveira versus Poirier. Oliveira versus Chandler. You can name a bunch of Frankie Edgar fights. That one big comeback against Gray Maynard. How about Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo? I can't remember which. It was either the first or the second fight, but one of those was just like an absolute banger. So yeah, when I think of greatest fight of all time, I think of a competitive match. One that you're sitting there at the edge of your seat like, damn, who's gonna win? One guy's getting the better of the other. Then the tide shift. Volkanovski versus Holloway is another one. They fought several times, but one of their fights was a banger as well. Greatest fight of all time, Wonderboy versus Holland? Nah, not even close to me. But that's just my opinion. It was entertaining. It was an awesome display of striking skill and prowess on Wonderboy's part. It was a crazy display of toughness and determination by Kevin Holland. But greatest fight of all time? No. Those, of course, are just my thoughts. You guys let me know in the comment section. Do you think that fight is in the running for one of the greatest fights of all time? If so, fair enough. If not, drop some other fights that you think are better. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll catch you all on the next segment. Until then, please take care.